Welcome. Tonight we're going to be looking at Chatterbox from Hack the Box. This is a medium machine, but I would probably rate it towards the easier side of things. It is still a little bit complex on how we're going to pull this exploit off and how we're going to pull the privilege escalation off, but it is a fun one. I did this one as part of my Windows privilege escalation course. That's part of the PNPT. And it was a bit of a head scratcher when I first did it, but then it made sense as I went along. So I hope you're going to be enjoying this one and joining me as we get into the hacking. So Chatterbox is a medium box. This is a fairly straightforward machine that requires basic exploitation, modification, or Metasploit troubleshooting skills to complete. To be honest, the Metasploit part of exploiting this machine is a little bit too difficult. I got to watch an IPSec video on this, and even he was having lots of trouble with it and couldn't get it to really work. So we'll be just doing some basic exploit modification and exploiting the machine with a script from exploit.db. So some areas of interest are the common services, outdated software, security tools, and authentication. We have weak credentials and sensitive data exposure. Here it says that you're meant to use PowerShell with this, but I was able to exploit this without PowerShell. Yes, just like OSCP without Metasploit. Now, to be honest, I did need to use Metasploit to create myself a better shell, but yeah, so I used Metasploit to create a Meterpreter shell once I had been on the machine for a while, just because I didn't get the privilege escalation section to actually work for me in just the standard command shell. We'll try again. I'm going to try tonight to see if I can get it to work properly. So we'll give it a go. So we've got our machine on 10.10.10.74. We'll copy that IP and we'll just ping it. Great. So we'll start with an nmap -p- for all scripts. I like to know what's open. We want a minimum rate 5,000. Verbose, so we can see what we can do, what's happening as it goes. Oh, I just deleted it. Yeah, we want 10.10.10.74. And output normal. And we didn't make a directory. Make directory, this one's Chatterbox. CD into Chatterbox. All right. So we have 445, 139, 135, and then these really high ports, which are usually some form of RPC. All right, so our ports that we have are 135, 139, 445, 9256, 49155, 49156, and 57. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll do a targeted scan. 135, 139. And for this one, we'll do our default scripts. We'll run all the scripts, have an aggressive scan. sudo privileges for this, because we're doing the -A. All right, and we don't want to ping it to see if it's alive. Let me know in the chat if you've done Chatterbox before. All right, so our scan is done. And MSRPC, we've got a couple of RPC ones down here. We have NetBIOS, a SMB share, Windows 7 Professional, Service Pack 1, that's information that we should check. And then we have an chat system here. So this is a very interesting, kind of stands out with that. So what we'll want to do is we want to make sure that there's no exploits for that. We also want to look at our SMB here. So we've got Windows 7 Professional, Service Pack 1. The computer name is Chatterbox. It's not part of any domain, so signing is disabled. We have guest account is usable there. So what we'll do, whoops. Let's move target into great. All right, so now we've done that. Into Chatterbox. All right. All right, so we'll do a search exploit. A chat, and here we have a chat remote buffer overflow. So we have a Metasploit module for that and a Python script to do it. So let's -m is to copy, and then we'll do 6025, which is the number for the exploit. So I will copy it straight into our thing. Move. All right. So we have our Python script, our initial scan, and our targeted scan. Let's see what else we had. We want to see if we can enumerate anything from the SMB share. So a -n is like a no password session. All right, so we've got nothing that way, maybe this way. Nope. Nope. Okay, so what we found is that the guest account has been disabled. Didn't require any password, it's just that it's disabled. Alright, so that's kind of a dead end. Let's have a look at this exploit. So, we want to look. So we've got a buffer overflow, so this is the buffer. And then we connect to the UDP socket. We send all of this. These are all the commands, and then we add the buffer with a whole bunch of A's and minus the 1152 bytes. And then if we have it right, we get poof, which is great. So when I first played with this, because there wasn't any written instructions, I struggled for a little bit until I realized that I need to actually create this buffer. So this payload was created to execute calculator. So it would open command and execute the calculator as a proof of concept. So what we want to do instead is execute this to become a shell. So we'll have a netcat listener on our machine. The Python script will send this buffer over to a chat. It will overflow the buffer and then it will point to our command, and that then should open up a link to our computer. So it should make a shell to our terminal. So we need to actually modify this. And as usual, I forget that I need to cat it. There we go. All right. So we're going to do this. Actually, we'll open. And do that. So what we want to do is because it's a Windows 7 machine, it has to be x86 because it's 32-bit architecture, where it's a Windows machine, so we want to make sure that it's the Windows platform, and we want to go shell reverse TCP, and we want to get rid of this, and instead we go lhost equals our machine, and L port equals, we'll go 1111. No, we need that later. 4444. All right, that's encrypted correctly. We'll give that a go. And we'll copy this payload. Great. All right. Alright, so the other thing that we need to make sure that we're doing is that when we run this script, we don't do the Python 3 or just Python. We actually need to specify that it's Python 2 because this script was created before Python 3 and all the updates, and it breaks. It doesn't really work when you run it on a normal script. So we'll set up our listener. And we've got a poof. Nothing. We'll just try it again, because sometimes doesn't catch it. Let's try that again. Open that back up. Could be that this payload's a little bit too big. Which in that case we may have to create this as a staged payload. So this is a non-staged payload, which means that when we perform the buffer overflow, it sends all of the contents of our command onto the machine. But what we might need to do is then send a staged payload that then reaches out back to us. Yeah. Because the length of this is quite big, 3000 bytes. Let's give it one more try. Oh, I know what I did wrong. So I didn't change the server address, which we need to do. So that meant that when I executed it, it was shooting it to some random machine. We don't want that. Now. Oh, caught it just in time. All right, so we have a shell on the system. So we are Alfred. So let's open up a little mouse pad. Got shell using overflow exploit on a chat. Then I'll just create needed to modify it. Change the payload using MSF Venom and change the server address. Cool. All right. All right, post-exploitation, we want to, so users, net users. So we have an administrator, Alfred, and a guest. We know that the guest is disabled because we tried to use it for SMB. So administrator and Alfred. System. So we want to do a system info. So we're just gathering information to kind of build up a case of like, what do we have here? What are we working with? So all these KB things are all the hot fixes. So we have 183 installed. As we know, this is Windows 7 Professional. I'll copy that. And we know that it's a virtual machine. That's important. If we're doing like a proper pen test, knowing that we're inside a virtual machine is important to know. Nothing else quite of interest. Nothing too important. Let's get a view of, actually let's look at Alfred, the guy that we are. All right, so we have username Alfred, no users comment. Sometimes passwords are left in comments. Password last set is in 2017, which is probably around the time that they made the box. Password is required. So he's part of the local users group, not administrators or anything like that. All right. What we'll do, just for fun, I'm going to copy this and run it through the Windows exploit checker. was that called? Ah, exploit suggester. Trying to refrain from using Metasploit, so let's see if we can get this bad boy. I think this is the old version. There is an updated. Next generation, there it is. Oh, we have this. It's WES. What's that? Nope. Copy this. Just kidding. You will need pseudo privileges. All right. Where's Alright, I think we need to update this first. So what we're doing is we're updating the definitions and we'll gather all the stuff that we need to know for it, and we'll go system info text. Okay, that is a lot. Got a couple of remote code execution. These might be Eternal Blue because they are in 2017, but I imagine that this isn't going to be vulnerable to that because that would be too easy. Let's see if we can find any other ones. Hey, Overgrown Carrot, good to see you again. I'm doing quite well. The usual shenanigans, trying to figure out what I'm doing. Welcome, Raiders, I guess. Nope. Alright. We can get to something that has an exploit that might be helpful, but I don't think there's anything there. Yeah, I'm wanting to learn some more port forwarding stuff. This box has it, which is, it was kind of blew my mind when I did it, because I hadn't done anything like that. Like I did it a little bit in EJPT, but we didn't really do anything where like we'd connect up and the shell that we got ran as we were on the machine. So there's way too much here. Let's go back down. Back to... That'd be cool. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, I think down the track I'd like to make some sort of pivoting tutorial, something. This is Hack the Box. For those who don't know, we're doing this box, Chatterbox here. This is part of my Windows privilege escalation. Man, I cannot speak. Course. Yeah, MS17010, of course. But that would mean that we would need to have a writable, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Let's close that. Alright, let's continue enumerating this box, getting a little bit more of a feel of what's here. Net start dash ANO. Alright, so we have a few ports here, 135, 445, and then all those random RPC ones. And then 123, 500, 4500, 4355, a bunch. Alright, so what we're going to try to do is we're going to port forward on 445 and connect to that. But before we do that, we need to keep enumerating. So we'll do some password enumeration now. Where are my notes? So we're going to search in the registry and see if we can find a password. Just getting my command up. All right. So this is a good privilege escalation guide. Has basic enumeration, kind of the things we were doing. Then we can do some like looking for passwords in plain text. So this will kind of go through the whole system and look for passwords. That. Check this on the side. Check that on the other side so we can see. See the config files. See if there's any. Nothing there. And these are the registry things that I was looking at before, so we'll have a look at this. So there's nothing there. Here we go. Something of interest. Let me just. So we have our registry key here, and so it's just like normal information, and we have a default password, welcome 1 exclamation point, and that's for Alfred, so we can add that in. My notes back up. Now the thought process behind this is that this may be used again with our administrator account. And so we'll give that a go and see if we can log in with the administrator account using welcome 1. So we'll try doing it from the outside. That is not correct. So SMB-like. So here we have the right password. That's what I'm trying to say. We have the right password. It's listing the shares that we have. If we use crack map exec, apparently we have pwnage. So let's try doing ps exec. Trying to remember the 74. I think that's it. See what the do we have an example? Okay, so we got username, password, address. Do we add the net BIOS thingy magic? Let's give that a go. Oh. And we got shell. Cool. So let's Did I spell it wrong? No way. No way. Administor. I'm a loser. Oh, no wonder it was like, we don't have a user like that. Does that mean I can... Where are we go? So if I did a P as exec, let's see if we can drop off that crap. Let's see if it works. Ha! It works. So we don't need to have anything. I just had it spelled wrong. Now we have double shell. Thanks. Futon? Futon? Isn't that what you put feet on when you're like sitting on the couch? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the WMI exec. I was using... I was using WinExec to do it. So we like did a port forward and then use WinExec to do it. So we'll cd into users. And we have the root flag there, and we will also have and the user flag there. Oh, which I purposely didn't capture for this moment because I wanted to share it with you guys. Gotta take my headphones out because it explodes at me. Hello. I think it accepted it. Are we in the right one? What? How can this be? Apparently I'm not able to see the root text. That's... what? Okay. So, that's actually interesting. Let's write that down. Yeah, true. Need to change the IC-ACLs, which means we need to make sure that we change them back, because whoever's using this box at the same time as us will have the same issues. And then everyone can get it. It's kind of, you know, good thing. So IC-ACLs on file. So we go IC-ACLs root.txt. This stupid thing went back to the top. And then we'll go grant. F D C. There you go. Apparently we don't have proper permissions to do that. Can we do that with Mr. Alfred? Dang it. Okay, so now we should be able to... There we go. So we didn't even need to escalate privileges to get the flag, because apparently Alfred has ACLS privileges. Now... does an incredibly loud thing in a second. Loading. Boom. Alright, well let's have a look at some of this other stuff. I want to know a little bit more about this ICACLS. So how do we know? Okay, so I guess it kind of works like the Linux ls-al, that it explains to you who has privileges and what kind of privileges they have. What are the privileges that exist? Inherited? Execute, read, inherited. Jeez, so many ads. Okay, so we need to run this to revert it. Alright, so then we go okay. Yeah, it's interesting. So, does that mean we can type it out? Apparently we can. This is really weird. Oh well. Interesting little rabbit hole. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to do the other path of exploitation. Which means that I need to change my SSH privileges. Nope. So what I'm doing here is opening up SSH so that I can connect up to my machine as a root user when I do my port forward. That's that. Then I need to So what I'm going to do here is this script is created by DeWalt. He works with TCM, and what this does is kind of prepare you for the course. It does all the things that help you do all of the labs and stuff. One of the things that it does, it enables root login, which is what we need to be able to do this. So it's going to install it. All right. So this is Alfred. All right. Change that, and we'll close administrator off. That will need to thought we would have p-link here, but apparently we don't. Link. Here it is. So I'm going to copy that into the present folder. Cool. So we have this. And we want to create a Python server. Now we'll insert util URL cache. We want a file http .10.14.19/plink .exe. And as we see, we got it here. All right. Hey, Mardcore 7. All right. So now what we can do is we will expose my root credentials on live stream. Okay, plink.exe-l root. Oh, and I need to restart my. Make sure that's working. And it's loaded the new configuration. And the super secure password 123-r. So before we saw that we had SMB running. So what we're doing is we're connecting port 445 on the target machine to our port 445. 14.19 and connecting up to SSH. I think that's correct. What is that? They made this. A little bit better. Nope. This may not work. which that's what I had happen to me last time I did this. Come on. And it didn't work. All right, so let's relaunch our attack. Actually, we don't need to do that because we can do PSExec. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this using a interpreter shell because I had a better time doing that than I did alright, so I need to make that. What is it? X26 Windows. Payload is Windows. Reverse underscore TCP. And we want 555. I think that's right. He'll get angry at us if it doesn't work. So I've specified the architecture, the platform being Windows, and then did a interpreter. Windows interpreter reverse TCP. This slash, when you're working with MSFNM, this slash between interpreter and reverse TCP means that this will be a staged payload. If not, it would be an underscore, it would be just kind of like one phrase, and that will mean that it's a non-staged payload. We have our reverse TCP, reverse.exe. All right. I am from Australia. Where are you from? Mardcore. Spain. Welcome from Spain. Have you ever watched Savitar? Yeah, I like him. My parents are from Argentina, and so I grew up speaking Spanish, so I like to listen to him. I learn a lot from him. He's pretty cool. Alright, so we want to use multi-handler, and then we want to set payload Windows media interpreter. Let's have a look. Options. Port 2555. Is that what we set it as? Yep. And we'll run it. Alright, so that's there. Run our Python. Not Python. Python. And yep, done. And we'll go so XC. That should call out to our machine if I've done it correctly. It's not doing it. And I broke it. Because I asked it to show me all its payloads. Might just take a while for it to actually load. Yeah. I did set the payload. Let's check it though, because Yeah, Windows, Meterpreter, reverse TCP. So we've got the right listen. Unless it was just treating it as like a text file with all this random gibberish in it. Ah, you did catch that. Did I do that before? Haha, there it is. That's why it's not working. Thanks, Mardcore. Try that again. Cool. And are we listening? Nope. Aha, there we go. Sending stage, and we've got it. Info, sys, info, and get user ID. All right, so we're into the authority system already. Dash F. Yeah. So we'll try to do this again. Hill root and -P1, and I think that's right. Yes. Yes. I know I can do that. But the point is now we'll get all this on here. We'll grep SMB. Nope. Oh, it's 445. All right, so we have an established connection with our machine here. So now we want to win exe. Welcome on 127.0.0.1 and then cmd.exe. And there we go. And we're back to administrator. So previously we were, where did my screen go? What is going on? All right. Previously we were, if you remember, this is huge. What did I do? Oh, no. We were entity authority system. If we were Alfred, we would have been able to do this as well. So we've escalated our privileges to administrator, which means we can and we can get the flag as well. So that's Chatterbox. We pwned this machine pretty well tonight. It was pretty fun. We can do port forwarding using Metasploit, but that's for another day. So we'll kill that. There. So initially you could actually perform this exploit as the lower privilege user and escalate to become administrator and then use see the flag. But we also, using ps-exec and the default credentials of welcome 1 exclamation point, we could log in as entity authority system. So that's what I got here when I logged in using ps-exec. Now we can't use this to log in as Alfred again because there's no writable, we don't have the right permissions to it, to the SMB shares. And that will be it for tonight, I think.